Introducing NASM One, NASM's ultimate membership program. Unlock access to everything your fitness career needs to succeed. Unlimited CEUs, free courses, access to our premium app, and exclusive discounts, all for $35 a month. NASM One is best-in-class tools, cutting-edge certifications, confidence in your craft, and everything you do as a personal trainer made easy, so we can achieve our greatest goals together as one.
You're listening to the NASM CPT Podcast with Richey, winner of the Share Emmy Award for Social Storytelling and the official podcast of the National Academy of Sports Medicine.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to the NASM CPT Podcast. My name is Richey, and today we're going to talk about something that I overheard in the gym last week, and I thought I'd bring it to your attention, and let's talk about it. Let's have a little conversation, because the conversation went like this. I overheard a trainer talking with a client, and they train together. I see them in the gym. They work out together, and the trainer was talking about somebody that was interested in training with them. And after they sat down to talk, he found out they only wanted to do once per week. And he looks at his client and he goes, and what's that going to do? Honestly, what's once a week going to do? And it stirred some things in me. It made me start thinking about, well, what is once a week going to do? And I don't know if I really disagreed with him, but I also didn't agree with him in a couple of ways. And this is what's interesting. He's got a point in some ways. And if it's possible, I like to always find out if somebody has the means and the opportunity to train more than once a week, I do encourage that. So I agree with him on that. If you've got the money to work with me, and the time to make it happen, let's get it done more than once a week. I think that that's important, and I'll drive that sentiment a little bit. And I will say that I think that, first of all, that it's like learning a language. Now, I don't speak another language, so this is hyperbole with me. This is story time. But also playing an instrument. That's something that I play at, but I'm not very good at it because it's not very often that I bring out the ukulele and play it anymore. And my daughter plays guitar and she goes once a week to guitar, but when she practices in her room, she definitely gets a lot better. So we'll use it. Language, we'll talk about guitar. All of that stuff relates back. Athletics, you want to shoot basketball, but you do it once a week, you won't be as good as the person who does it every day. Are you doing it on your own? That's my question. So if they're coming in and they're just working with you because they want somebody to observe them, somebody to provide feedback, somebody to maybe develop a program based specifically on what we did when we were together, then that's a good idea. That's great. A once a week person is great. But if you got the means and you got the time, you've got the opportunity to make it happen, then I think that pitching it like learning a language or learning an instrument, if you're really wanting to learn something to reach a goal, which is proficiency, or it might be, whatever your goals are, you want to lift heavier weights, you want to run faster, performance-based, weight loss based. What are the goals? And then can coming to see me more help you in that process? And if you've got the money and you got the time, let's do it. I think that's important because it's like learning and doing lessons. And I tell people training, this is the other thing. Training is an education. It should not simply be you are paying for our time together. I use this as an example when it comes to college. I did not go to college and pay money to go to college for my experience at college. Now, I know some people that do. They pay money to go to college because they want the college experience, but I did it for what college would do for me when I was done with college. After I finished university, I wanted to be able to get a job. After I finished with college, I wanted to be able to be paid better. I wanted what college afforded me once I was done with it. And in that, I use that as an example for personal training. And you can go to school and you can do night school once per night. Do one class at a time. And it's going to take a long time to get out of school. So it's going to take a long time to get to and through your proficiency. Also, depending on how much you're working on your own. But I think it's important to point that out because I don't want people to come in and say, I'm trading time for money. You were trading time, money for time and the education and the experience and what we do for you in the long term, just like school is. I want all of those ands. None of them live on their own. They don't exist on their own. They are not an island unto themselves. The training is the village. It is all the things. It is the environment. It is the experience. It is the education. And it is what you take with you. And granted, if we're looking at this from a health perspective, and they are not really exercising or engaging in physical activity on their own, then certainly encourage them during your 1 hour together to be more active on their own. I wouldn't even say exercise initially. I would say to be more active. Be more active. What does that mean? Get outside and walk more. Get your heart rate up a couple times throughout the week. So take the stairs. Be more movement oriented, more mobile, but don't stop them if they are telling you they only want to train once a week. Upsell it? Sure. Absolutely. Upsell it. But don't turn it down because I say it. It's important to me. It's important to you. I get a lot of feedback and people hitting me up and quoting me on this. And I say it all the time. A little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. A little bit of something's better than a whole lot of nothing. They can do once a week. Let's do once a week. Well, once a week, what's that going to do? As the trainer said, what's that going to do? I don't know what that's going to do. I don't know what the short-term benefits. You just coming in, you're not going to lose 20 pounds. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do it. And that might be true, and it might be a prolonged experience. But according to the CDC, when we look at exercise, the short-term benefits of exercise regarding sleep is that it improves sleep quality. And that's something that we know, that exercise and physical activity improves sleep quality. So if I can do some physical activity with a trainer once a week and have better sleep, and we know the blessings and benefits that come from better sleep, let's not turn it down and let's not shun somebody away from doing once a week. Yes, upsell them. If not, it's cool. If you can fit in that schedule, get them in once a week. I have several people that I train once a week. What else can it do? In the short term, it helps to lessen or reduce the feelings of anxiety. And if they can have that experience with you once a week, maybe they'll want to do twice a week later. And maybe they won't. But it doesn't matter as long as you're there for them, supporting them in the process, knowing that time you have together, whether it's 30-minute sessions or an hour-long sessions, which are the typical session times, 60 minutes usually, but I do get quite a few people that go, what about 30 minutes? 30 minutes too. Helps to reduce anxiety. Also, very cool, short-term benefits. When you work out, it helps to reduce blood pressure. That's amazing because so many people in this country in particular, in the United States of America, get a lot of high blood pressure. We also know, and I can speak to this from experience, if you've got high blood pressure, you can bring that down. But if you have diabetes, which I have, then diabetes in the short term, you can lower your blood glucose levels. Now, I wouldn't measure it while you're exercising because blood glucose levels, blood pressure, that stuff, you'd be all over the place whilst exercising. Did you just add a T to while? Whilst? Are you sure you're in the United States of America and nobody said whilst in a while there? All right. Well, I said it today. So it reduces blood sugar, reduces blood pressure, reduces anxiety, improves your sleep quality. Why? Because you did that one workout today with a trainer. So if you're a trainer, don't dissuade people from doing the once a week. Encourage more. Yes, encourage more. But if they're still once a week, encourage more on their own and inquire more when you see them. This is going to turn more into like, okay, we're doing our time together, but there's some coaching outside of the training that's going on. Now, there's some coaching when you're training, and those aren't the same things. We can discuss that later, but there's going to be some coaching that's going on outside of your training time together. But they're getting those benefits short term. Well, the long term benefits might be longer to get if they're not being more active throughout the week. But let's talk about it again from the CDC. Let's just address it. Long term benefits of regular physical activity. Here we go. Brain health. It reduces risk of developing dementia, including Alzheimer's, and reduces risk of depression. When it comes to heart health, it lowers the risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Why is type 2 diabetes underneath heart health? Because that metabolic disease ends up being a vascular disease. Cancer prevention. It lowers the risk of 8 types of cancer. 8 types of cancer because of increased physical activity: bladder, breast, colon, endometrium, esophagus, kidney, lung, and stomach. If you have a history of being physically active, you have a less risk of having those 8 types of cancers. Healthy weight. It helps to reduce the risk of gaining weight. Bone strength. Helps with improving bone mineral density and maintaining bone mineral density. Balance and coordination, especially as I have clients that are older and getting older. Some have come to me for the purpose of balance and coordination. And one of the things I tell them is simply by being more physically active, then it improves your balance and coordination. Or a better way to put this, maybe, it reduces the risk of falling. And this one's a good one. Emerging research is suggesting that physical activity may also help to improve immune function. So when you've got a client that says, listen, I'm interested in training and I only want to do once a week, then I would say once a week is great. Why do you want to come once a week? What makes you want to come? What are the experience you want to have with the once a week? And then you may want to reach, right? So when you say why not twice a week, people are going to tell you why not. They're going to give you all the good reasons why there's no good reason to come in. I can't do this. And you don't want people telling you over and over as you're prodding, why can't they? So ask them, that's great. Once a week is way better than once every other week, once a month. That's fantastic. Why are you coming in once a week? And when they give you the reason why, then say, that's great. Would that ever be able to apply? Because those are all wonderful benefits. It seems like if you were to be able to do that more than once a week, that would be beneficial. Is that something you've thought about? Okay. Now they just gave you so many good reasons why they came in once a week, then would that be a reason why they could come in more? But no guilt shall be projected. No guilt shall be experienced. If you did you say shall? Are we whilsting and shalling today? No experience shall be guilted upon, because that's not the experience you want people to have with you. And also, if money is an issue and time is an issue, then they don't need guilt to also be an issue. Allow people to do what they can, and don't force people. Don't guilt people. Don't prod people. Don't coerce people. Don't coax people into doing something that they cannot do or that will put them in a bad position. Because the good news is if you've got people that are coming in once a week and then you can encourage more physical activity outside of it and they have friends and they want to come in once a week, then you can train a lot of people once a week. And one thing about that is that it certainly does give you a lot of variety throughout your week as a personal trainer, but it also influences more people throughout the week as well. When somebody comes in, says, I want to do once a week, let's learn more about what their goals are, what their needs are, what their wants are, and how we can be of service to them, even once a week, because we know that there are short-term benefits. Just the moment you're exercising, there are benefits that start occurring. My favorite thing recently is learning more about myokines and the immediate effect of the release of myokines just from contraction of skeletal muscle, and what that does and how that affects you right now, immediately. There are benefits in the moment. They're not just benefits because you've done this 3 days a week for years and now we're just now getting to the good stuff. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's because you did a workout today. There's some good stuff there. And let's encourage it. Let's support it. And let's provide people with a place to feel comfort, because a lot of times people don't correlate gym and comfort together, right? And we want you to be comfortably uncomfortable. And if you can help provide that, then you've got the winning ticket. You've provided something of significance to the people that are coming to you. And that's important. So with that said, thanks for listening. And I will say what I usually hold off until later to say, keep inspiring people to fitness. And through that inspiration, maybe they start coming in more, maybe they don't. It doesn't matter. You're there for them. Be there for them. Support them in their process. And then even if it's like, okay, well, do you want to do programming outside? And for an extra fee, I'll give you programs that allow you to train and exercise through a routine on your own without me. But it doesn't cost nearly as much as one-on-one session with me. So you've got opportunities to provide for people. Think about those opportunities when it comes to the people who want to train once a week. So you keep inspiring people to fitness. You keep them coming back, even if it is once a week. If you want to reach out to me, you can hit me up. You can find me on Threads and Instagram at dr.rickrichy, or email me rick.richey@nasm.org. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, share with your fitness friends and family. This has been the NASM CPT Podcast.